Let's go back now to our correspondent, Nick Holdsworth, who is joining us in Moscow this hour. Nick, I was saying earlier, the invasion continues, the suffering continues, but word has it that Russian forces might be somewhat struggling to make any kind of real progress.
Oh, that's quite right, although we are just hearing in the last few minutes that Russian troops have entered Kharkiv, which is Ukraine's second city. Certainly Putin's war, day 4 now, I believe, is not going to plan. Last night there was a late night bulletin from the Ministry of Defence basically saying that because the Ukrainian leadership a couple of days ago had refused to engage with talks which Moscow had said could take place in Minsk, hosted by Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. Because that had been refused, and probably quite rightly so, because Minsk can hardly be considered a neutral place for talks, considering that they have allowed Russian troops to enter Ukraine, to invade Ukraine from their country, and there have been reports denied by Belarus that Belarusian troops are involved too. So given that the Ukrainians refused that, the Ministry of Defence was now saying, OK, it's all bars are off, it's basically a full-scale assault. Beforehand they were saying we're making precision attacks here and there on military infrastructure, we're trying to avoid civilian casualties. Now, they were saying in that bulletin from the Ministry of Defence in Moscow last night, we will be targeting infrastructure and lots of other targets, and that's what we're seeing this morning. And as I was just saying, day 1 targets had actually included a quick strike down to Kiev and taking other cities such as Kharkiv. These were amongst the day 1, day 2 targets. Up until now, and these are early reports from an advisor to the Ukrainian president, that Russian troops have entered Kharkiv, which is in the slightly northeast of Kiev. It's kind of central to the country. It's just south of the Russian border. It's about 30 kilometers south of the Russian border, perhaps 50 kilometers south from the southern Russian city of Belgorod. And I'm just having a quick look here as I speak. Ukrainian forces were battling Russian troops on the streets of Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv on Sunday. The regional governor said Oleg Sinegubov, so that's the regional governor of Kharkiv Oblast, Oleg Sinegubov, and he says Russian enemy light vehicles are already entering the city. Now that's a significant development, as the Russian forces have not actually taken any significant population centre so far, and they haven't taken Kharkiv. Kharkiv is a very big city. Viewers who are either interested in history or maybe a little bit older and maybe have some knowledge of World War II, Kharkiv, generally known by the Russian name back then of Kharkov, was a huge battleground, and it was taken by Nazi forces, by Hitler's forces during the Second World War, and then retaken by Soviet forces later on, and there was very significant street fighting there and tank battles and what have you around it. This is one of the Soviet Union and Russian Federation's hero cities, and to see Russian troops entering a so-called hero city is stunning, to say the least, and very sobering for Ukrainians and for the rest of the world.
OK, Nick Holdsworth in Moscow, for now at least. That's all we have time for, but thank you very much for joining us once again.